So on this channel, I've reviewed some pretty pricey hi-fi pieces, though I never ventured into the crazies like $30, $50, $100,000 DAC or amp. I've gotten pretty high up for my tastes, right? I've also reviewed lower cost items. The Wilsonton R8 tube amp, amazing amp for the money. I've talked about the PS Audio Sprout, right, with some Klipsch RP600s sounding mighty good. But today I want to talk about a budget system that comes in at under $1,000, and that's for the speakers and the integrated amp. Now the speakers have a folded ribbon tweeter. They have amazing bass, beautiful, solid, tight, big attack kind of bass, and a mid-range that is a bit warm, a little recessed, but really, really nice. These speakers are around 500 bucks. I want to talk about the amp that was made to go with it. And this amp also is around 60 watts per channel into 8 ohms, 100 watts per channel into 4 ohms. It has Bluetooth built in. It has an FM tuner. It has a moving magnet phono stage. It has a beautiful volume dial that glows blue around it. It has digital inputs, coax, USB, optical, right? And it comes in at around 500 bucks. How could this be? They must sound awful, right? Here I am. I have listened to systems ranging from 500 bucks to $1 million. And I'm used to listening to high-end stuff. How could I possibly like this $1,000 system? Well, I'm here to tell you it's the best $1,000 system I've ever heard. I would say it sounds more like a $3,500 to $5,000 system, and that's no joke. I'm talking about the Emotiva B2 Plus speakers and the TA1 integrated amp. These two pieces are budget hi-fi, but here's the thing to remember. They are hi-fi. This isn't mid-fi. This sounds unbelievable for the price. When these came in, I took out the speakers, the B2 Plus, and I was impressed with the size, the weight. They weigh about 15 pounds each. They're rear ported. But I saw that folded ribbon tweeter, which is usually reserved for higher end speakers. I saw the construction. It looks solid. These things have a 5-year warranty. And I put them on my Dynaudio Stand 6, and I hooked them up into my reference system with the DCS DAC, the Enlium Amp 23R. These are 86 dB efficient speakers, but in my reference system, they absolutely blew my mind. The bass was as strong, if not a little stronger, than my Fleetwood DeVille's. It was tight, it was punchy. It was unbelievable to me how tight and punchy it was, whether I was listening to low volume, where the music was full, fleshed out, and coming out into the room, or if I tried to jam it really loud, throwing on some crazy metal or something, they never faltered. They never chugged. They never gave me, the woofers never bottomed out, right? They never got grungy. And that really impressed me. The high end was very airy, not the most refined. If I'm comparing it to high end, no, it's not that kind of refinement. But they were very refined for the money. So much so that I sat there in my reference system, listening to the Emotiva B2 Plus speakers that come in at around 500 bucks. And I said, what the heck is wrong with me? Why have I spent so much money in this hobby? I know why. And I said, this is all I need. It's not what I want, I tell myself, because I want this nice looking, artful system. But it's all I need. The sound was, I'd say, 80% of my Fleetwood DeVille's overall. The imaging was solid. The sound stage was massive. The music enveloped me into it, and I was becoming emotionally affected by the music, and I just couldn't believe these speakers sounded that good. And I remember bringing Debbie into the room, and she said, how much are these speakers? I said, they're around $500. And then she looked at me like confused. I said, I don't know. I think it's because I have it in this reference system with all of this fancy equipment. So I opened up the integrated amp that came along with it, the TA1 from Emotiva. Now this amp is actually pretty solid feeling. It looks really attractive. Another thing, I couldn't believe it was under $500. I expected to put the speakers to it and hear hiss or, a little noise or the refinement all go away. I hooked up that amp to it, and I even used some $30 speaker cables to make everything fair, because if you're going out to buy this combo for $1,000, you're not going to put, fancy speaker cable on it. So I used everything as if I would buy it for myself for a small budget system. When I fired it up, I did hook up a Bluesound Node streamer to it and used the DAC inside of the Emotiva, because the Emotiva TA1 Integrated, again, it has a DAC built in as well. You won't need a DAC. So that is really, really cool. It has Bluetooth 5, all that good stuff, all the latest and greatest. But with the Bluesound Node streamer going into the TA1, feeding the B2 Plus speakers, compared to the reference system driving them, I lost a little refinement, right? I lost a little smoothness, and I lost a little bit of the three-dimensionality, quite a bit of the three-dimensionality. But on their own, as a $1,000 system, I was blown away. I've never heard anything for $1,000 sound this good. I've never heard anything for $1,000 be this well made and have this kind of amazing warranty behind it. 5-year warranty on the speakers, 3-year warranty on the integrated amp. And we're talking budget prices here. As I listened to it and I threw on some music, I wanted to try all genres because Emotiva says these will sound good with any genre of music. That's how they were designed. Now, Emotiva is full of music lovers, right? And their goal is to put out products that are affordable but sound amazingly good. And I used to think Emotiva was, I avoided them because I said, there's no way it can sound that good at that price. And that was an audio snob kind of thing to do, and I regret doing that. And I won't do that in the future because these really, really are well worth more than they're charging for them, right? But as I'm listening to jazz, I'm listening to rock, I'm listening to 70s rock, I'm listening to heavy metal, I'm listening to ambient kind of stuff, the sound stage was massive. These image, excellent. They are excellent at imaging. For the money, there's no way I can think of anything else that will bring you a better sound. These things sound good with all music. Now, in the past, when I was a kid, I paid $500 for my speakers, and I thought they were the best things ever. I thought they sounded amazing, but I bet if I could go back in time and hear them, I would think they wouldn't sound very good. I kind of have a memory of it. These B2 Plus speakers sound so much better than what I had back then. I just can't believe these are $500. Ribbon tweeters are normally reserved for higher end speakers, but they're here. And the high end of the B2 Plus is a little more sparkly, a little more prevalent than my $20,000 Fleetwood DeVille SQ speakers. Now, I'm not saying they're better than my DeVilles, they're not. But for the money and above, I'd say up to $3,500, it's going to be hard to find a system that is this put together and sounds this good. Now, even though the speakers are 86 dB efficient, my Enlium Amp 23 ran them with absolute ease, and that puts out only 25 watts per channel. No power issues. It could go as loud as to shake the couch I was on without distortion. They can play as soft if I wanted to listen at 2 in the morning and still be full and present. I get emails often asking me recommendations for a budget system, and I'm always left scratching my head because I'm always thinking, well, if you want really good sound that immerses you in, normally I would think you would have to spend at least $3,000. But here for $1,000, you can actually have a big taste of high-end audio. It's not going to be as refined, as smooth, as magical, as cavernous, as detailed as a high-end system, but you're getting a good flavor of it for such little money. Now, I have some sheets here. I printed out some information. The TA1 amp also has a headphone out. 8 ohm headphones. It delivers 23 milliwatts per channel. If you have 600 ohm headphones, 75 milliwatts per channel. You have the moving magnet phono stage. This is a Class AB amp. It's not Class D, it's Class AB. As for the speakers, they are rear ported. They're about 15.6 pounds each. They are 4 ohm rated. They handle 125 watts continuous, 200 watts peak, 86 decibel efficient, and they have a 32 millimeter Airmotive folded ribbon tweeter. Now, Emotiva also says the amp, the TA1, has a highly optimized circuit layout that ensures the best possible sound quality with low distortion, wide bandwidth, and a virtually silent noise floor. I had no issues with noise, whether it was in my reference or here I built a little system in a bedroom here with it. It says analog inputs on the TA1 follow a pure analog path and are never converted into the digital domain. That is awesome. Built-in high sensitivity FM tuner with 15 station presets. What else do you have here that I haven't talked about? It says the TA1 features a heavy steel chassis and a solid milled aluminum front panel for rugged good looks, top quality construction throughout, double-sided FR4 circuit boards, and it goes on and on. And this is really cool too. The TA1 has a universal voltage power supply that can operate on any voltage from 100 VAC to 240, and it automatically configures itself. Why doesn't everything do that? That is awesome. Speakers do come with grills. They attach magnetically, so there's no holes that you have to put them into. You know, these are really fantastic buys. So if you're someone who's looking for a budget system, and even if you're thinking up to $3,500, I can highly recommend the B2 Plus, the TA1 integrated amp, and you can use Bluetooth and stream via Bluetooth from your phone. But if you want even better sound quality, I'd recommend something like a Blue Sound Node, and take a coax cable from that into the TA1 coax in, and that way you're streaming. You can use Spotify Connect, Tidal Connect, and go right into the node, which will send it to the DAC inside of the TA1. Speaking of the DAC inside the TA1, it says precision digital conversion on all digital inputs is provided by the legendary Analog Devices AD1955 24/192K DAC. So the DAC inside of the TA1 sounds really, really good. Again, it's not going to be as refined and smooth and expansive as a 5, 10, 15K DAC, but we're talking $500 and you're getting all this. So budget system, my #1 budget pick without question that I've ever heard is the Emotiva B2 Plus speakers and the TA1 integrated amp. Throw in some really nice quality $30 cables that I've talked about in recent months. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check those out. And you have a really, really nice HiFi system. And that's awesome. So if you want to learn more, I'll put a link below to Emotiva's website. I'll put a link to these 2 products specifically. And just so we're clear, I'm not making any commission. These are not affiliate links. These just go to the website. I didn't get paid to make this review. I don't get kickbacks. So I just want to make that clear. This is something that I really, really enjoyed, and I think a lot of you will enjoy it too.